Yo, what's going on, dude? So we are here at THQ's pre-E3 event, checking out Warhammer 40K Space Marine. It's a third-person shooter set in the Warhammer universe, so let's do it. I gotta admit something to you, though.
Okay, go.
I'm a little ignorant when it comes to the Warhammer 40K universe.
It's okay. It's not a requirement.
So for guys like me that want to jump into this game, what are you guys doing to make the universe kind of accessible?
You know, we've built Space Marine really so that all the fans that know the IP really well will see kind of the attention to detail and the love and kind of the attention that we've put and the passion that we have for the IP is really expressed strongly in the game, in the environment, and the way the characters speak, all the details in the storytelling and whatnot. But really, we've built the game so that anyone who likes sort of action blockbuster games, anybody who likes science fiction and fantasy, can jump right into that thing and feel right at home, because there's a lot of familiar concepts and ideas that we've seen in a lot of science fiction and fantasy, because, hey, you know what? This IP's been around for like 25 years. It's actually inspired a lot of the games that we've played before. So we're really drawing from a lot of the same inspiration. So I think players will be completely, able to jump right into this game and not feel any kind of disorientation at all. But on top of that, we are delivering something that feels unique. I mean, Warhammer 40,000 has a very specific aesthetic. It's got these epic environments, these sprawling kind of Gothic-inspired architecture pieces. There's amazing action. The characters really stand out as being unique. Like everything about Warhammer 40,000 really stands on its own as something special. So it's really a game that will appeal to the fans. It's completely accessible to people who don't know anything about Warhammer 40,000. So I hope nobody feels that that's like a requirement in any way whatsoever.
For those people out there that are big Warhammer 40K fans, what's kind of the story setup here?
So the story setup for Space Marine is there's a forge world named Graia. Forge world being a planet-sized factory that manufactures war machines. The human Imperium is sort of surrounded by this endless alien horde that's trying to wipe it out of existence. And this war machine is one of the pieces of this that provides weaponry and whatnot to keep the humans alive. So it's just been invaded by a massive orc army, millions strong. The orcs kind of being this barbaric alien race. And they want to get their hands on the Titan being this giant war machine that is extremely powerful. You've been sent, you play Captain Titus at the Ultramarines, you've been sent with a small strike cruiser to kind of land on the planet, take strategic positions back from the orcs and hold the line until a larger liberation fleet can arrive. And that's how the story starts. Now, pretty quickly after you land on the planet, you get involved with sort of a much darker story. There's a conspiracy, there's the Imperial Inquisition that's been involved with secret weapons research that they probably shouldn't have been doing. They don't want that to fall in the orc hands, so you get involved with that mission fairly early. And the whole thing spirals into a much darker story, which culminates in the forces of chaos actually arriving on the planet. So we have a lot of stuff going on in the story. It's not just an orc invasion on the planet. It's a really sprawling kind of epic story. It's a blockbuster experience. The single player game's like 10 to 12 hours long, or longer depending on sort of your player skill. So it's a really, really big game.
So obviously in the past the Warhammer IP has been used for strategy games, but you guys are doing a third-person shooter brawler sort of thing. You want to kind of speak to the combat a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we Relic, we were the ones that we made the first RTS games in Warhammer 40,000 with our Dawn of War series, and I think we've had a lot of success with that, and we've spent 7 or 8 years with Games Workshop building that really close relationship of collaboration with them in building those games, and we've had a lot of success with those games. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine is our fresh take on this IP. It's putting the action blockbuster aesthetic, taking that and wrapping it around 40K and delivering it to a whole new set of gamers. The combat is really what differentiates Space Marine from all other third-person shooters out there. It's really that seamless hybrid of melee and shooting, that instant responsive system that makes you feel like an extremely powerful fighter. So you get to play that towering Space Marine hero, and you feel like this extremely powerful guy on the battlefield with this enormous sense of momentum as you just sort of smash through your enemies and lay waste to them with like a broad variety of, we've got 15 ranged weapons, we've got 3 or 4 big melee weapons, and it's just a huge satisfying action experience.
I noticed there's some pretty interesting weapons in what we saw. Is that stuff derived kind of directly from Warhammer 40K books and lore, or did you guys kind of take your own spin on that stuff?
We took. There's so many weapons and enemies in the tabletop game, so there was really like an embarrassment of riches that we chose from. And so what we did was we picked the weaponry that best suited kind of our intentions for gameplay. So it's all derived from the tabletop game. But there is one weapon that we've created, the Vengeance Launcher, which is our kind of grenade launcher equivalent, and that's a weapon that doesn't exist in the IP. We created it especially for Space Marine with Games Workshop, and now it's sort of part of the canon as well. So yeah, I mean, but the majority of the weapons are taken right out of the lore.
When are you guys out and on what platforms?
We're coming out August this year on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC.
Cool, thanks for talking to us, man.
Thanks a lot.
Boom. All right, cool guys. So that's Warhammer 40K Space Marine. I gotta admit, I'm kind of ignorant to the Warhammer universe, but the game is looking super brutal and awesome. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go slice some dudes with this chainsaw sword. Peace. That was so dumb.